What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Me TV Reviews. I am your host, Mo. And tonight, you guys, we're going to be discussing Cross. That's right, y'all. This is season 1, episode 2, titled Ride the White Horsey. I do not have a good feeling about this, y'all. With this Vanessa girl, but I'm not even done with the episode just yet, okay? But before we get that far, thank you guys for coming back. I really do appreciate it. Let's go ahead, get into the synopsis real quick, and then we're going to get right into the episode. So the synopsis for this one is Emir Goodspeed's murder spreads like wildfire through D.C., catching others in its burn, while D.C. power broker Ed Ramsey seduces his next victim, an art aficionado named Shannon Witmer. Now, we saw her and her mama while they was waiting on their coffee the last episode. And I thought that was Ed in the thing, but y'all know he got eyes everywhere. He got people working with him. So we'll see just how far his reach go in this one. So Alex is woken up in the middle of the night after he was dreaming about Maria, okay? She was singing, and she can carry a note or two, y'all. Just saying, okay? So she was singing, and then next thing you know, he sees when she was dying. Okay, so he woke up from that dream because he heard a noise coming from downstairs. So he grabs the strap and he heads downstairs. Now, once he get down there to the kitchen landing, he ends up pointing at what he believes is an intruder, only to find it's Jenny just getting something to drink. She said that she was thirsty. She apologized to him. It's the middle of the night. She knew she shouldn't have been up out the bed, but she was thirsty. That ain't your fault, baby girl. Just go ahead and get you something to drink. So he apologizes, and it takes Nana Mama saying, hey, Alex, come back, for him to snap out of it. And like I said, he immediately apologized and follows that up with another apology along with an explanation the following morning. He's just dealing with a lot of adult stuff. And so, he's just sorry. He's sorry for that. And he won't let it happen again. So John overhears their conversation because he was there when the kids woke up this morning, sending them off to school. And after they leave out, he's like, bro, what the hell? But he knows someone was in his house. He knows somebody was in his house. Ain't no way that I'm finna be hearing all this creaking, moaning, groaning in my floorboards with nobody being in here besides just the regular people. So John ends up switching gears and tells him about Tavio's phone going missing. Just hella fishy right now because of the last call that was made. We know that was to Emir, and now Amir's dead, and now Tavio's dead too, and his phone is missing. Something don't seem right. Okay, we got to find that phone because that's the only possible way that we gonna find some leads to this case. Now, meanwhile, Sarah is waiting to meet her Tinder match when he walk in, okay? Definitely not what she was expecting for sure because it's Ed. And so she rips him for catfishing her. And so he was like, I in my line of work, I try to keep my personal life private aside from my job, because I deal with a lot of high profile people. And she was like, BS. I'm done with it. I'm finna get up and I'm walking away. So then he says, a line about his girlfriend and how it got really, really personal, and he just doesn't want to go back that far into it. So she was like, yeah, next time you try to catfish somebody, at least do something with the name or something like that. And so she starts to walk away, and he was like, hey, you're here, and I'm sorry. I really do apologize. I didn't try to come off like some weird creep or whatever, but since you're here, let me just buy you breakfast. I will answer any questions that you have. And then if you still feel that way, then you'll never have to hear from me again. And y'all, he was able to convince her to stay for breakfast. I was like, did he offer you the highest thing on the menu? Girl, she should have took her chance to get away when she could. But hindsight is 2020. Now, John and Alex head to one of them spots to grab a bite to eat. It's one of their faves, right? When a woman named Hightower walks in, her first name is Tanya, okay? But they call her Hightower. So she walks in and she starts asking questions about the case in regards to Tavio's phone and how they had the whole police precinct looking for this phone. It must be something really important. Does it have to do with something in Amir's case? Do you think that their cases are connected? Asking all the questions. And every time she asks a question, Alex is like, no comment, no comment, no comment. So then she, when she asked about the murders being linked, which she was basically in tune with their thought process, they asked her who leaked all this information to her because she said something about the Emir report. And they was like, who told you that? Who? And now it's her turn to say no comment. She just turned around and walk out. So at the precinct, can't nobody hold water, apparently. Okay. So Lieutenant Massey is up their backs about the community being more in an uproar now that Tavio has been killed. And the neighborhoods have been harassed about this damn phone. They're teetering on another George Floyd type of riot, which is exactly what Chief Anderson did not want in the first place. But girl, you're not finna sit up here and try to paint him as this gangbanger that got retaliated on. Okay, that may be the case for some, but that's not the case now. And so they trying to stick up for what they believe in, and she don't want to hear none of it. Now, Massey and majority of the department believe that Tavio's death is either a revenge killing or is gang related, but John and Alex believe it's neither, but that Emir and his case are related. Now, as she's chewing them out, the video of him getting shot is playing behind her. And right after he gets shot, y'all, we see this woman that's next to him bend down and sneak his phone. Okay, she done took the phone. So now we got to figure out who this lady is. You were saying? Oh, okay. So she tells him to go find the girl and everybody else go see what they can find out from the hood. All right. So we cut to the girl who took Tavio's phone, who happens to be Tavio's baby's mother. Okay. Her name is Vanessa. Now she's in the car with her sister Melanie and little Tavio Jr. in the bag. Okay. They call him Tavi. He is so adorable, y'all. So she's talking to her sister, Melanie, and she's telling her about this important voicemail that's on the phone that she needs to get to the right person so she can try to get Tavio some justice. Because if she don't, the police and the media will surely paint him as being the stereotypical black gangbanger out here when he wasn't that. He wasn't that at all, okay? But despite her sister's gut feelings, Melanie was like, girl, if they got to them, they can get to you too. What, you think you an exception to the rule? And so she was like, I gotta do what's right for him. Oh, girl. Standing by her man 10 toes down. Okay? She ready to die for the cause. Baby, you got a whole son out here. I mean, what would y'all do in that situation? Would you try to make sure that the reputation of your loved one that you lost was still intact, even if it meant you risking your life? What would you do? Or does it just depend on which loved one we talking about and how strong y'all connection is? It's levels to that, okay? But let me know what y'all would do. So, anywho, so as she's telling her that she's got to do what she's got to do, like Tommy from the Rugrats, Melanie was like, okay, girl, I see I'm not going to change your mind, so take this chicken box. And the chicken box is a strap. She tells her to protect herself. Okay? Speaking of Vanessa, y'all, it seems that Ed has gotten a drop on the whole situation. And I don't know where he heard that from. I don't know if he heard it all from Bobby Trey, because we know that him and Bobby Trey are working together. And is Bobby Trey a part of the precinct? He's in there somewhere, because I remember Ed's talking about how Bobby Trey had said that he hadn't worked with Alex Cross on any cases personally, but he heard that man is really good. Okay, he's really good. So I don't know where he's getting all his information from, aside Bobby Trey, if anybody else, but he wants to take Vanessa out. But Bobby Trey tells him to hold his horses on her, all right, and Shannon, because he already plotting to add her to his death book. Now, unless he's actively begging to get caught up, he advises him to slow your roll. Okay, slow down right now. It's the block is way too hot for you to be doing this. So back on the home front, Jenny is playing hopscotch while bumping Selena. A bitty bitty bamba, a bitty bitty bamba, a bitty 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 bamba. Thank you for keeping her music alive. Okay. That movie was on the other day. I love that movie. I cry every time. So as she's playing, Nana Mama is getting on to Damon because she done found some type of acceptance letter from a prestigious art school and is wondering why he does not want to go. Now this is I think it's called early Mozart's or something like that. So he's really good at playing the piano, very gifted. And so she's getting on to him about why he doesn't want to go, and he don't have no real rhyme or reason to why he don't want to go. He just don't. Now, as that's happening, Jenny's still minding her own business, playing hopscotch, when Ed comes through the cameras and starts to talk to her about him adding the numbers to her hopscotch layout. So she ends up disappearing for a split second, and this scares Nana Mama to death. She don't know where Jenny went to, so then she ended up creeping around the house, and she finds Jenny looking up at the security camera saying that she was trying to track the man that was talking to her. Just weird as hell, right? So Nana Mama did what she thought was best, and she ended up cutting all the damn security cords. I would too. So Alex ends up getting a notification as soon as she does that about the cameras being offline, as he's with Elle. Now, he done bought Elle these nice apology heels, and she says that the only way that she'll accept them is if he goes to dinner with her to help her break them in. I was like, y'all so cute together. They are so cute. He definitely likes the sound of that. Okay? But he got to go. So he ends up running back home where John meets him, and he discovers that he's been there. Like, he meaning Ed. The intruder has been there. Now, he don't know who Ed is just yet, but he's been there because he can clearly look down at the hopscotch and see that numbers have been added. Okay? And so the numbers that he wrote on there equate to the date and the time Maria was killed. Exactly. He's so sick. So Bobby Trey goes to Vanessa's job, but she's not there. Now, the lady that's there, he's trying to get questions, some answers out of her, and she ain't really giving it up, but she just know that this man ain't quite right. Okay, something about you is a little off. It's a little suspicious. And so he roll up on her like real close, and he basically threatens her if she don't relay the message that Vanessa need to bring her behind back in so he can get a medi-pedi from her. Now, over to Shannon and Ed. They're at some type of exhibit. And y'all, this exhibit is dark as hell. Like, it's one of them where they have like displays of blood. This is like Dexter's little, dark dungeon, death dungeon that he be doing all his stuff in. This is like that, but it's on full display. Okay? You got it? Okay. So it's one of them, and so she ends up asking him, does he think that she's crazy? And he was like, no, not at all, girl. He actually encourages her to explore her dark depths of death, as most people should. I was like, yeah, y'all meant to be together. Now, if you asked him that and he told you that, no, you ain't crazy, don't you think that it's time for you to go? Two people that think the same way and when it comes to stuff like that shouldn't be together. Okay? Because ain't no telling how far y'all would go. But while they're walking down this dark exhibit, they start talking about their future and more specifically hers. Now, she says that she like her little job. It's insane. It's ain't. But what she really want to do is get their job at the Ritz. Okay, that's what she really want to do. And so he was like, girl, it's obtainable. You just need a little bit of time, but you're going to get there. Okay, it's going to happen. So now, Alex ends up stopping by Melanie's house to try to find Vanessa. Now, Melanie's got Tavi with her, right? And Vanessa, Melanie ain't really trying to budge on giving up the deets about where Vanessa's located because she believes that all police are bad. Okay, and he's trying to tell her that they trying to find her because she may be in danger. And she know that, but she ain't trying to put her sister at risk. Now, Tavi is trying to get Auntie Mel's attention because something is happening with his tablet that Vanessa had left with him. That's Vanessa's tablet. And y'all, Auntie Mel, she don't know none of that stuff, okay? She might not have no kids. She don't know how to work them tablets like that. And so she tells him that she ain't really got the time for it right now. She don't know how to work that damn tablet. Her words, not mine. And so he walks away feeling defeated. And so, of course, Alex comes in and is like, hey, I know that music from anywhere. Now, he starts talking about the game and how to get past this specific level. And as he's doing that, he's asking Tavi some questions about where his mommy went. Now, although Tavi ain't giving up too many of the deets, he did say that she was going to take him to go ride the white horse as many times as he wanted when she got back. And in my head, I'm thinking, I don't think she gonna make it back. Y'all, I hope Vanessa makes it back to her son. So as soon as he leaves, because Mel had enough to the effect where she told him, just get the hell out. Get out my house. All right. So when he leaves, she ends up calling Vanessa. Now, on the flip side of that, Alex and John are still using Kayla to try to help track Amir's phone, or Tavi's phone, excuse me. And then Vanessa ends up getting a phone call from Melanie. Now, Melanie is telling her, hey, the police just left. You got everybody looking for you. So wherever you at, you need to get the hell out of Dodge because it is not safe. And so she was like, girl, I'm already out of said Dodge. I'm off the grid. I'm okay. I'll be fine. As soon as I get done with this, I'll be back. So I think she ended up talking to Tavi, and she was reassuring him that everything was gonna be okay, that she's gonna see him soon. And as soon as she walked out, she was in a store, y'all. As soon as she walked out the store, behind her we see Bobby Trey. Now, how he got the drop on her, I don't know. What division does he work in? Now, I know he got that one guy that he cool with that hooked him up with the information for for Tavio's car. But is he also helping him track her too? Anywho, so he's got alcohol. Okay, he's having a good old time. Now, we then see her. She is talking, she's trying to call. No, let me go back because I think I done skipped something. Okay, so I thought I had missed something, but I didn't. So he done got him some liquor. He done got him a pound of coke or a couple of pounds of coke. And he is banging it out to get on my level. Get on my level. Get on my level. Y'all, I swear, when that song came out, I think I was in middle school. When I tell you, we played that in the band and we just thought that we was the best because we knew how to play this. Why was we playing that? Anywho, so he's having him a drug-fueled time, okay? He is high on coke. He is down in the alcohol. He's shouting, dancing in his thong, because that's exactly what he has on. He looked like he's supposed to be going to go dance with Magic Mike now. That's all I'm saying. So he's having a rager by himself in his motel room, and literally on the other side of that wall is Vanessa. What? Yeah. So she's on the phone. She done called Tanya Hightower to try to tell her about this voicemail that from Emir Goodspeed. And she thinks that it's really important, but she really needs to get in contact with her. It's very important that she talks to her soon. And I was like, girl, you just don't know. Your time is really precious, okay? It is ticking at this moment. So then we put a pause in that and we're going to go back over to Alex. So Alex is talking to Nana Mama. Nana Mama is trying to get Damon to meet with this lady from early Mozart's. And Damon is very adamant about the fact that he don't want to work with no white lady. Okay? He don't want to work with no white lady. He don't want to go to that school. Leave me alone, Nana Mama. But then when she come around that corner and we find out that she black, his whole perception changed. It took him by surprise. Okay, and so she basically does the reverse psychology on him, like, oh, you scared. You scared to show me your skills, okay? I know you can't handle it. He was like, yes, I can. I can. So they go over to the piano and do their thing. Now, as Nana Mama is peeking in on that, Alex is trying to get the information from the surveillance footage so he can look at it. And when he does, he sees Jenny, and she's talking back to the distorted voice. Now, he's telling her how pretty she is and how much she looks like her mom. So maybe there was a crush somewhere off in there. I don't know. Okay, have no clue. So then he peeks back in on Damon, and she's admiring his finger positioning and how he's excellent, y'all. Little baby excellence. I love it. So then we go over to Shannon and them. So Shannon had just got off the phone because she just scored this interview with the Ritz. And coincidentally, here comes Ed. He said he just got out of a meeting on the 16th or something like that. It's such a quinky thing that we ran into each other. Here we are. And so he was about to ask her something, but he had overheard her interview for the Ritz. And so he was like, oh, that's great. Do you need some help prepping? You know, you could come over tomorrow morning and we can go over some of the questions for breakfast. Now, it turns out that he says that he done put in some phone calls on her behalf. And so when he invited her over so they could prep for this interview, y'all, Shannon still got some brains about her. Because her stranger danger alert went off in her gut. And she said, you know, I really do appreciate the gesture, but I feel like it's too early for us to be going over each other's houses and trying to spend the night and have slumber parties. I'm going to ask my mom later and we'll figure it out. She had called and left a voicemail for her mom. That's what it was. So he had overheard her leaving her voicemail for her mom about the interview. And that was that. So when she declined to come over, he flipped it and put it in a much politer way to suggest she still come over by saying, okay, well, I'm going to make a fresh batch of bacon. I'm going to pour some nice hot coffee. And if you want to come over, you can come over. Okay. And we can sit down and I can just give you a little bit of advice. That's it. That's it. Y'all think she gonna go over. I think she gonna go over. Shannon, use your head, baby. Use your head. So John stops by Alex's house and tries to convince him to go on his date with Elle, but he's like trying to come up with every excuse as to why he shouldn't let loose a little bit. All right. He didn't want to go at first. He said it's way too much going on right now. Damon is turning up. Okay. He's pointing guns at Janie. It's somebody out there taunting him and his family about his wife. And it's just way too much. But John tells him that's why you need to escape. Okay. You can't save nobody else if you don't put your mask on first. So you need to go release some of that instead of letting it build up. So he offers to watch the kids, you know, put a little movie on, give them some milk and cookies, read them a little bedtime story, and shoot, if your night go really good, I can help them get to school in the morning. He was like, man, nah, it ain't even like it, all right? She ain't even that type of girl, all right? So he's gonna go. Now at the party, at the motel, Vanessa is anxiously awaiting Tanya's call, and when she finally does call back, she catches her up to speed about her receiving this voicemail from Emir and how she believes that Tavio and Amir's deaths are related. And then Tanya asks her where she is. Put a pause in it. So Alex ended up taking John up on his offer, like I had mentioned, and he's decided to go out with Elle. So they're at her house, okay? And she's fixing him dinner. They're discussing the case and how he believes that Vanessa's still in town somewhere because even though she's scared, she's not going to steer too far from her baby, okay? Now, when Maria was alive, she had books and books for the kids to do every day. They did an hour worth of book work, okay, just to keep up on it. And at her sister's house, Vanessa had books there as well, okay. There were books piled up there for Tavi to do the same thing that his kids would do. So she's got to be somewhere close. Just don't know where just yet. So then Week, the song comes on by SWV. Oh, Lord. And it makes her weak. So then she starts talking about their junior dance and how she met this older guy and he probably doesn't even remember her from the dance. And he describes her down to a T, like the color dress that she was wearing, what type of detailing it had on it. And the fact that they had started dancing, but the song ended early because the lights came up. And so she was like, you still owe me half of a dance. So they start to dance and they get real close and she's smelling all on him and he's smelling all on her. And she says, I wonder what would have happened if the lights would have never came up. And so y'all, they get the kissing, it get hot and heavy. And just when it looked like it's about to go down, he stops himself. He's not ready just yet, okay? He thought he was, but not just yet. So he ends up leaving and going home. So when he gets home, he ends up getting a phone call from Kayla because she was able to get a hit off of Tavio's phone. So him and John go meet with her. And as they're doing that, y'all, Vanessa comes back to her motel. I guess she went out to go get some snacks or something. I'm not sure. But by the time she get back in there, y'all, he's sitting on her bed, taunting her about the deadbolt. So he got in, okay, he's got the phone. He's asking her for the code. And he's also got the gun that she had in the chicken box. He was like, oh, you ordered a kid's meal? I got the toy. Talking about the strap, y'all. He's got a sense of humor. I will say that. Dark, but sense of humor nonetheless. So she ends up smacking him and tries to make a run for it. And he ends up pinning her down on the ground. And he puts the gun to her face and tells her, let's play some tunes. So John and Alex go meet with Kayla. And based off the ping that they got, the one ping, they were able to come up with some sort of idea. Now, it was 6 pings at first. So they have an area, and then she was saying if it ping one more time, then maybe they can get a more precise area or hit where they believe she may be. But based off of the area that she shows him, he starts to think about it and was like, okay, her workplace is here on one part of this circle. On the opposite end of that circle from her workplace is Tavio's daycare. When he mentioned the workbooks, he was saying how she probably got the books from this bookstore that's not too far away from Tavio's daycare. And then he thinks about it and was like, she probably reverted back to her childhood, something that's familiar to her, something that's comforting, because her whole world has been turned upside down and now her life is in danger. And so he mentions a hotel or something like that not too far away. And then they come up with, they came up with the white horse because Tavio had mentioned the white horse earlier in the day. And based off of that, the only place where they know has a white horse in front of it is this seedy ass motel. So that's where they're going. Now, as they're getting there, Bobby has her held hostage, okay? He's playing all of these songs, Staying Alive and No, I Will Survive. There we go. I Will Survive. And then he tells her that after the songs run out, that's it for her. Okay, you're going to have to make a decision. But by the time these songs stop, either you give me a decision or you dead. So then, y'all, the Lion King comes on, and then he starts prancing around like he's a lion. I was like, yeah, it's the drugs. It's the drugs, y'all. This man is crazy. So Alex and John get there, and John is looking at the guest book. Honey, Alex ends up showing him the picture. Hey, have you seen this lady? He was like, oh yeah, cute little joint. She down there in 222. So they get down there, and of course Bobby hears all of the commotion, right? So he done started to scatter. He's trying to get all of his stuff together. As he's doing that, because Vanessa's like, oh, I don't remember the code. I don't remember the code. She still has the phone in her hand because he done put the gun to her head. And she was like, oh, I think I remember, So she ends up sending the information to her phone. And so by the time Alex and them get the troops rallied around this motel, he done grabbed the SIM cards out of both the phones, right? And I thought that he was going to shoot her, y'all. But then he pulled the gun back and I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. He finna let her get away. Y'all, why did he take a knife and slit her throat? I did an audible gasp as I saw that because I was not expecting that. I figured that she was going to die, but I had a glimmer of hope once he pulled the gun back. But why did he have to do her like that? And she got a kid. So he gets out in the nick of time as Alex and John are rushing in. She's still bleeding out, y'all. She dies in Alex's arms. He kisses her like he kisses Maria. And next thing you know, Lieutenant Massey is there along with Tanya. I don't know where she was, honey. Where was your antennas at? Because she gave you the location a while ago. Why you just not getting here? So she popped up and she was like, oh my God, did he know whoever did this, that she had a son? Da da da. And so she wants to release this information right away, but he tells her that he needs 2 hours. Well, she don't do favors. You still do deals then? So she asked him 3 questions to put on the record. And then that way, once the 2 hours is up, she can release this to whatever newspaper she works for the online part of it. Okay. But she don't know how long it's going to take for word to hit the street. Apparently, word be hitting the street real fast. Hell, they probably already know that Vanessa dead, unfortunately. And it's real unfortunate for her sister. Man, I hate that. And her son. Both of his parents is gone. Both of them. It's a cold world, y'all. So she ends up asking him, I forgot what the first question was the something about Emir Goodspeed. The phone related to Tavio, and then do he believe that Tavio and Vanessa's deaths are linked to Emir's whatever's happening with Emir? And he confirms that yes, he does believe both of those things are true, whatever the first 2 questions was. And then she asked him, does he have any suspects for the last one? And he was like, no, he don't. Y'all, he gonna have to pin somebody down real soon because now this baby is an orphan. It's just awful. Okay, I definitely do not like Ed, and we definitely need to get rid of him by the end of this season. I don't care how he goes, he just needs to go. So, y'all, my heart just can't take it. Alex had to pull up. And I think that he was trying to go talk to Melanie about what happened to Vanessa before she got word. But he ended up running into Tavi sitting on the steps playing his game. And so he comes over and he starts to talk to him. And he mentions a code to get past that level that Tavi has been struggling with. So he was like, you don't have to tell me anything. I don't want you to get in trouble with your auntie Mel. Let me just put the code in. So Tavi hands him the tablet and he ends up going into a separate part of it and sending that important message from the phone that was backed up in Vanessa's phone, all of the devices are connected. He sent it to his cell phone or John's cell phone, one of the two. And so then he did actually put the code in for the game, and he gives it back to Tavi. And so Tavi asks him, are you the one that's still trying to help my mom? And he tells him, you know what, Tavi, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be a good day. It's not going to be good for a while. But you have everything that you need inside of you to deal with everything that you're going to have to deal with that's bad. And you know why? Because your mommy and your daddy put it there. You are a superhero, but it's on the inside. It's on the inside. And so as he's telling him that, he tells him to repeat it. And as Tavi is repeating it, y'all, Mel must have got that phone call about what happened to Vanessa, and you could hear her screaming in the background as he is repeating this with Tavi, that he is a superhero. And finally, Mel comes out and she grabs Tavi and tells him to get away from him and slams the door in his face. That's why I couldn't do it, y'all. I could not be a detective. As much as it would help my heart to know that families are able to find closure, that part will hurt the most, delivering that awful news to loved ones, especially when kids are involved. And so Shannon, they get back in the car, and John tells him, you did what had to be done. Okay, because Alex was on the brink of tears. I teared up too. And so they listen to the voicemail, and it is Emir, and Emir says, hey man, I came over to this guy's house he went over there to get something, and it just didn't sit right in his spirit. Something is off with this guy. He don't feel right, and so he wants Tavio to pull up. Now he gives him the address, 41 Price Street, and as he's telling him the address, we see Shannon pulling up to that same house, and it's nice, y'all. It is nice. And so he lets her in. Now, before he comes to the door, she ends up texting who she believes is her mom, saying, if you don't hear from me in an hour, call the cops. Very smart. Very, very smart. And she sent her the address too. Very smart, Shannon. But unfortunately, he was 2 steps ahead of her, y'all. So she came in and she automatically hit the hand sanitizer. And I was like, girl, you don't even know this man's place like that. And as soon as I saw it, I didn't even have to see how the rest of this ended. I knew it was something wrong with that hand sanitizer. So she comes in and he's talking to her about the interview. She says the interview starts in a couple of hours. He offers her a mimosa and she says, no, I'm trying to stay sharp for my interview. And so he's just looking at her. He was like, I'm not that type of guy. Okay. It's good for you to be reserved, about people, because there are some sickos out there. But I'm not like that. You shouldn't be worried about the mimosa. You should be worried about the hand sanitizer. And so she starts to do this nervous laugh along with him. And she said, why would you say that? And he was like, oh, because you got one in your purse. You got one at your workplace. You got them all around your apartment. And so then she's looking like, what the hell? And then she starts to feel woozy, right? So she loses her balance and he catches her and he tells her that it's the fentanyl that he put in the hand sanitizer. Okay. He knew that she was a germaphobe, and so he knew that she would go for the hand sanitizer just off reflex alone. So he dosed it with fentanyl. And so she was like, I'm going to call my mom. Y'all, she tried to call her mom while his phone started ringing. I don't know if he rerouted her mom's phone calls or if he actually did something to the mama too. But either way, he's got that phone number. And so then she passes out completely, right? She goes unconscious. He gets up on her real close, takes a picture of her, and was like, hello, Eileen. And that's the way the episode ends, y'all. This show is really good. I am captivated. Do you hear me? I don't know how this is going to play out. I hope don't nothing happen to him, nor his kids, nor John. Nobody in his main area, okay? We don't need nobody else to get taken out. I almost, yeah, no. I That hurt my heart to see Vanessa go. Poor Tavi. Anywho, y'all let me know what y'all thought about it, okay? You can reach me at Me and You TV Reviews on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also reach me at My TV Reviews Podcast without the S on the end at gmail.com. Y'all, I love y'all. Okay, let me tell y'all what I got coming up. So we're rounding home on High Potential. Okay, we got a couple more episodes to be done with that. But we also got Papa's House, which I'm doing every other week. We're also doing St. Denis Medical. I think I'm going to try to do that every other week. We'll see how long these episodes are. If they still about 22 minutes, I think I'm going to be doing that every other week too. Because, and I'm so upset about it because I didn't hear any publicity about it, but my friend told me about it today. Shout out to Joe. Based on a True Story is back. Oh yeah, it's back, y'all. I love that show. All right. So we're definitely going to be doing that. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this show, okay? Y'all know how to reach me. I love y'all. That's all I have for now. So until we meet over the airwaves again, I am Mo, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.